when you thrive, we are able to create employment for our people. As economists, you will realize that when you create employment for our people, they receive money. And when they receive money, what do they do with the money? They purchase. So they create demand. Once you create demand, you increase the level of economic activity. And what does that do? It will increase productivity. Once there is increase in demand, you must actually increase supply to be able to meet up. And once you do that, so you need more hands, meaning that you need to employ more people. I'm just trying to explain the link of what we are doing today. Basically, one-stop shop is a system that we have created in Delta State Investment Development Agency, basically to reduce government bureaucracy, especially those ones between the government offices and the private sector. To create that relationship that says, look, when you come into our office, come into the one-stop shop, everything you need in terms of information, because what we have today is basically information asymmetry. And it's not helping the system, because if you are not well informed, if you don't know what government is doing, especially what they are doing in respect of to what you do, you will not be able to assess whatever it is that you need to benefit from the government. So basically, one-stop shop is to make sure that that gap is filled up. Secondly, it is to reduce costs and time. Instead of running from one agency to the other, you need to come to DIDA, one-stop shop in DIDA. Then you have everything. We have focal ease of doing business persons in different MDAs. We have in land, we have in Ministry of Information, we have in Power and Energy, we have in Ministry of Finance, we have in EcoPlan, and we have in several of them. So instead of you trying to see how you can access government and government information, so you come to one-stop shop. We help you in licensing, we help you in registering your businesses, we help you in assessing taxes and the rest. And we can get your business established in one day because we know where to go. We have a focal person in the judiciary. And apart from that, we have also gone ahead to make sure we digitalize the system in a way and manner that if you need any information, if you don't want to come to our office, you can go to our website. In the judiciary, for instance, we have 6 small claim courts responsible for settling disputes. In case you have issues with your business partners, customers, and the rest, you know where to run to so that you don't face the bureaucracy of the normal court. So when you go to these small claim courts, issues are dealt with summarily. So what am I saying in effect? That one-stop shop helps the MSME in several ways, because if you don't know what government is doing, you will not know how to assess government, because government is doing a lot. Isenberg in 2010 developed a theory. It's known as entrepreneurship ecosystem theory, where we create an environment to support businesses, and that is what Delta State have done. What we are doing here is one of it. What we are doing here is one of it. If you look at a particular agency, what are they doing? What we are doing is part of it. We are creating an environment for you to be able to assess government activities and government benefits. If you come to DIDA, we are doing almost the same, even if we are doing it on a larger scale. But what we are doing is to make sure that we create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. Make sure that we are able to facilitate businesses. Make sure that we are able to get your business registered and direct you to what opportunities that we have in Delta State. You all know that apart from the oil and gas that we have other things that we are marketing to our people. We have arable land for agriculture, whether it's cassava, maize, and the rest. We also have mineral resources ranging from silica to kaolin and the rest, lignite, coal, and the rest. We have all of them in Delta State. How many of us knows that? And how can you access that information to be able to also bring in investors, not just me bringing in investors, but all of us trying to bring in investors or also participate in these businesses for our people to get employed and earn money. So what we are doing at One Stop Shop is to bring this information to you. That is why if you go to Ministry of Science and Technology, they have their website. If you go to DIDA, we have our website where everything I've said here so far, you will find. If you go to the judiciary, you will find the same thing. If you go to Delta State Internal Revenue Services, you have the same information. Why? Because you need to know how you are going to go about paying taxes. Not just about paying taxes, but also to know how to get tax relief. I discovered in recent studies, which I did, and I discovered that people who have just 5 years or under 5 years business experience are creating more jobs than people who have over 10 years experience. And I just finished that study and I was like, wow. So I now began to research to know why. Why is it that people who are early stage businessmen are doing better than people in terms of job creation than people who have over 10 years experience? And I discovered that there are a lot of reliefs that we give to these young men. And some of you probably do not know that if you start a business today, you don't start paying tax the same day. You are exempted. Some of you don't even know that we have a free trade zone, that you can go and establish your business, even if I'm not talking to people who are engaged in that line of business. But I know that if you're operating your business in the free trade zone, you have taxes that you will tax relief that you will enjoy. So what am I saying? I'm saying that until you have that information, you will not be able to know what government can do for you. Government does a lot. Apart from tax incentives, and apart from subsidies, apart from grants, government can target people like you to empower. I'm not particularly saying that government must give you a starter pack, but government can inject money into your businesses, known as cash transfers, and monitor you and make sure that monies are disbursed based on milestone achieved in those businesses. Another problem that we have experienced in course of my doing this particular job is the fact that we are not investment ready. No matter how small you are, my colleague just spoke about how you can keep your records and everything. It's very, very key. But most importantly, if you want to start a business, you have an idea, you have a vision, put it on paper, convert it to a proposal. You get to the proposal level, there you now do what they call visibility studies. It must be bankable visibility studies. It doesn't need to be the big top firm kind of bankable visibility that I'm talking about. Because if you don't do that, people don't see what you want to do in terms of transparency and accountability. The only way they can see what you're doing, because you're going to run the numbers, you need to have your financial projections in that visibility study. So when you have this document, that is where you can approach a bank. But for people like you, I'm not even advising so much. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Commercial banks, yes, rate is very, very high. But there are other development banks like Bank of Industry, FDB and Co. They have programs that target people like you, the MSME. What do? If you don't have this documentation done, they will not be able to deal with you. So it's either you are doing it yourself when you have the expertise to do that, or you get somebody to do it for you and pay a token. That's where you start from. Especially for those of us in the digital world. Online businesses are thriving everywhere, but you must package it in a way that shows that there will be return on investment in what you're doing and you'll be able to pay back. And note that the standard for the number of years of payback, for the period of payback, is 5 years. If it's more than 5 years, it becomes a problem for all of us. If we know that you'll be able to pay back what you have borrowed in 5 years, it becomes easier. I'm not saying that 10 years is not enough, depending on the scale of that business. What are we saying? The one-stop shop provides all the aforementioned information for you. If you have any problem or how you can go about this, please come to DIDA, where we have the one-stop shop. The one-stop shop solves all your problems, and I can guarantee you that if you want to start any business in Delta State, in 24 hours, that business will be registered and will point you to the direction that you go. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Anthony Lekukuri. You know, when he said he was going to do 5 minutes, he actually meant 15 minutes. And I'm not surprised, you know, he was a lawmaker and he's also a PhD holder. Please appreciate him one more time. Thank you very much. And now, Dr. Jasper Iradiri, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do this in two flanks. We're trying to harmonize two various panels into one. And so everybody here on the panel will be able to make statements on everything because it's for MSME. You're talking about MSME growth in Delta State. I want to firstly thank Commissioner Orode and then also Honorable Anthony for very, very comprehensive insights which they have given. And so let me, in thanking them, bring the rest of the panel on board. We would have only 30 minutes to do this and then 5 minutes for questions and answers because it becomes more complete when people from the other side of the divide are able to interact. MSMEs. Today is the first Delta State MSME Summit. And we're all excited to be here. Women and youths. The numbers, the demographics continentally, globally, are that women and youths are very participatory in the MSME ecosystem. And so, in looking at Judith, you're a woman. And then we're looking at Delta State, your state. How would you want to speak to the topic, you know, breaking barriers and then women and youths in Delta State? How would you want to speak to that topic?
Okay, thank you. First and foremost, I said earlier that the economy of Delta State will not be run in the boardroom, will be run by the small and medium businesses. And these people are the youth and the women, majority from our data analysis. You find out that women and the youth are the bedrock of any economy, anywhere apart from Delta State. If you take statistics of women that are running business, you will see quite a number of women are doing very well in businesses. And particularly in Delta State, I happen to be chairing the Nigeria Association of Small Medium Enterprise. That has given me an opportunity to network with the nano, the micro, and the small businesses. And the challenges are just there. Our number one issue we need to address is capacity building, ability to get good information, timely information. How do we get this? For instance, the hall was very filled this morning. Today, these are just the few people, and you don't give what you don't have. So women, first and foremost, we need to take advantage of everything that's going on around us, technology. How many of us are enlightened? How many of us have taken the pain to do what we call self-development? With women in Delta State, I repeat, we can change the economy. With women and youth, why? We have the strength, we have the number, we have the productivity, we have what the older people cannot do. Women and youth that falls into that category will do this. So my take today is that we need to organize programs that will be targeted at women and youth, not a general program for just the women and youth. What are their challenges? Like Honorable Orode said, we need to be focused, the government and the private sector. I told Honorable Anthony that I have questions for him. the government and the private sector need to work together in synergy to be able to get the targeted persons. It's okay for us to have policies. It's okay for us to sit in our boardroom, in our offices, and say, okay, we need to do this, we need to do that. But what is the practicality of getting the people in the grassroots involved? We need to really get targeted program, be specific in terms of development. And you know, I don't want to take much time. Everyone is not at the same emotional intelligence level, educational level. So when we say targeted, if we're going to the villages, we get people that can speak pidgin English to relate at their level. If we're, I can tell you that no villager is here right now to hear what we're saying. So they're totally disconnected as women and youth. But if we go to them and we have, like when Honorable Anthony was talking, I was wondering, you mean this is happening in Delta State? And I'm a chairman of a small and medium enterprise. I didn't even know. Right. So what I'm saying is that for us to get results for women and youth, we must be specific. We must go after them. It is usually said that when you focus your attention, when the ray of the sun is focused on something, it will burn. It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing when we focus our energy, when we are deliberate in passing out information, that is developing their capacity, in making access to the market and funding available for women and you. Trust me, it will change the narrative of our economy. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic. A round of applause for her. Fantastic. You know, listening to you, I can imagine how Ifeanyi is going to feel. Comrade Ifeanyi, you were listening to her as well, and I know that she touched on some areas that fall within your purview as one leading the Delta State Job and Wealth Creation Bureau. How would you want to speak to redefining the roles for women and youth?
Thank you very much. Actually, there's no way I'm going to feel, because I've worked with Madam Judith over the years, right from my time as Commissioner for Youth Development. And we did quite a lot together. And I would just say, for me, taking into cognizance the question you asked in terms of women and youth, you know, the value they need to add, is a two-way traffic. First, the buck, first on the side of the youth and women, two on the side of us, the government, is a two. We have to look at it from that perspective. Why? Because I'm speaking from my experience. First, I asked myself, in government, I came into government first based on value, not based just on political patronage. It was just based on specific values that I was able to define for myself, that made the immediate past governor, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, to identify that this boy has got this specific skill and I think I can use him, and give me the enabling environment. So making reference to what Honorable Tony Eleko environment for you to thrive. Now, for us, I think on the side of the youth and women, they are a mindset limitation. That's going back to our sister. Why I said so, taking my experience too, working in the Youth Directorate of Youth Monitoring and Mentoring, I found out that a lot of people, youths, women, have first an entitlement mentality, bulk percentage of them. We just have this belief that everything has to be done for them to be able to do that. So sometimes I tell them, when I get such experience, I think you need to really have a private sector experience. When I mean private, core private sector, maybe work in a private firm, maybe for a short duration of time, like maybe work in a bank where you know that target is the order of the day. I'm sure by the time you start managing a business, your mindset will change. It will no longer be like everything should be done for you. That's one. Another thing is, like she said, limitations in terms of education, in terms of exposure. But I also believe that such limitations can be conquered. I came into Asaba precisely, I think 2009, 2010. Then there was a spot they call peppered rice. I'm sure a lot of us know the place. I'm sure a lot of us, the woman I'm sure she's not even a graduate. She has not been to the four walls of a university. But today, down the line, go to Peppered Rice. It's a full-fledged eatery with a lounge and all that. Why? Because somebody understands the power that you need to evolve, and it has to start with you. That is one. Two, and then thirdly, I also think influence. Influence on the side of your circle and influence on the side of the government. Now, influence on the side of your circle. I have been to Madam Judy's place at Sapele severally. In fact, I was so inspired that she was one of my screeners, because I believe she had all that is. She has been able to build capacity enough to become somebody to choose people for my program when I was commissioner for. Yes, when I come to fashion, when I want to select trainees for fashion, she was one of my reference, because I went to her place and I said, this woman has got what it takes as a person to be able to help us pick the right people. And I'm sure she can speak for the program we did while I was commissioner for youth development. So now on the side of the government, I think we also need to be more deliberate in certain things. I just have to be frank about that. Why I said so, she made a dash at the hall, the people that are there. And I said one thing, is that it's basically because it is free. If people, like in Lagos, where people have to pay for capacity building, they have to go for this kind of training. I'm sure you are being paid as a resource person. A couple of persons are being paid as resource person. They will sit and take the lecture till 8 p.m. But if, in quote, they came through one mobilization, maybe he has probably asked me to call somebody, and the person probably doesn't know the energy he and his team may have put into this program. They may not have known how much money Madam Judith has paid, because I know each time she gets certification, she sends me copy on WhatsApp and I congratulate her. She spends money to build her capacity, and she comes here and somebody is not ready to listen. You can now see the reason why she will be angry, because she knows the value she has. So I think that some of this program, from our end, we must be deliberate in making it as publicly open as possible, so that the people who will take these values can come in here, take it and run with it. That is one thing I was doing while I was in commissioner for youth development. I do not play with my selection process, because I tell you, it is garbage in, garbage out. It is what you put in, you will receive at the end of the day. So I make sure that when I'm having a program, I do adequate publicity, open portal, let people register. Even if somebody say, I know somebody, I say you can come, but I still want the people out there, because at the end of the day, they will take your testimony even further than you can ever imagine what they have been able to learn. So that's why I said it's a two-way traffic. Then just as a last line, I think for those of us that are here, grooming our business, first and foremost, you are your first marketer. And marketing starts not by just that you are a good caterer or you are a good hair designer. The first thing your customer eats or patronize is your person. If your client comes and you are a fashion person, just like that young man, I don't need to be told that people will love to patronize, because he's looking very clean and cute and together. But if he's a fashion person and he's coming here and his clothes is looking like carpenter chiseled the cloth, I am sure nobody's going to take him seriously. Look at Madam Judith, elegantly dressed. I am sure nobody needs to be asking her if she's a fashion person. So first and foremost, your personal branding is far more important than even the business you are trying to market. Because while you're talking, saliva is flying from your mouth, and you're speaking and you're telling them you're a cook. The woman will just be looking at us, you see this one, you go post it for my food. You have ended yourself. That is very critical. Then what you don't know, ask questions. I just mentioned what they call the peppered rice. Today, she must have used graduates, must have used people who has knowledge she doesn't have, to have been able to do what? Take her business from one point to the next level. So don't just sit back and wait and say, oh, government has not. Yes, government is to provide the enabling environment, like he said, Government can support you, just like when we came in as government, then we were able to decide we decided to segment the different categories of youth. We designed program targeted at rural youth, which we call the RISA, Rural Youth Skill Acquisition Program. We said, okay, we have entrepreneurial-minded youths in the tertiary institution. There should be programs that should be able to help them drive the entrepreneurial spirit. We designed the program, Tertiary Institution Entrepreneurship Program. Then we said, okay, first, we have critical youths out there who are just, they don't even know what to do with their life. We need to give them some direction. We decided to have a program that is geared towards mindset and value reorientation program. So these are some of the things that governments can do to be able to provide that enabling environment that Honorable has provided. But you as an individual, you owe it as a responsibility to first start with yourself, marketing yourself, then before we can buy your products.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Give him a round of applause. I see that Ifeanyi is very passionate, you know, sitting there as his present position, interweaving it with his former position. Please give him another round of applause. And really and truly, when we're talking about people dressing very well, you are also looking real nice. Real nice. Okay, so let me go to Commissioner Ora there. Because I listened to you and I could see the passion, I could see the way you connected with the youths and the crowd. And I'm just imagining, what kind of Delta do you want to see? What kind of Delta do you have in your head for women, for youths? How do you want to, that redefining question for Delta, what kind of Delta do you have in your head? What did you see?
I was just cracking a joke that it's His Excellency that should be asking, I should be answering this question.
You're an ESCO member.
What kind of Delta do I want to see for women and youth? If I'm being honest, I would say that the entrepreneurial ecosystem for women and youth has grown a lot in the last couple of years. And I think the youth and women need to give themselves a round of applause in Delta State, because there has been, Delta currently, I don't know the specific statistics, but Delta currently, in terms of beyond oil ecosystem, right? We are probably #1 at the moment. Delta is the fastest growing state right now. Well, Lagos, those ones have already grown. In terms of development, is the fastest growing state right now. And a lot of that hangs on small and medium enterprises, small businesses. So the Delta that I want to see is actually quite on track. That's the honest truth. Entrepreneurial ecosystem 10 years ago is not what it is today. It has massively evolved. I'm talking massively evolved. Everybody you meet, even the nurse or the doctor, has a small business on the side that they are doing, right? And it's not necessarily because they are looking for extra hustle in some cases. It's just that we have an enabling environment in this state that allows small businesses to thrive to an extent. So we will continue to do that as a state government, to continue to see that these small businesses are thriving. I don't think there's any state in Nigeria, and you can quote me if I'm wrong, that does the amount of support that Delta gives to small businesses in the entire country. Whether it's through programs, whether it's through grants, whether it's through access to markets, whether it's through so many things, import, export. I'm just remembering Auntie Shemite, God rest her soul. So we have so many things that we pump into small businesses that I don't think any other state in Nigeria, if I'm being honest, is currently doing.
Just give a round of applause to
yeah,
Delta State
we'll just
government.
keep
A round of
doing
applause. A round of applause. To women and youths in Delta State.
Thank you. First, let me appreciate everyone that have not left the hall. Yeah. I think you have a stake and you want something good. for your future, for your business, and for Nigeria, and for Delta State, and particularly for your business, you will get it. So, for us in the industry, generally, I must tell you, I've been around for a while. Like Honorable Orode said, the MSME business and SME ecosystem in Delta has evolved. We are coming from a background where in those days we have seen what they did from Ministry of Agriculture to youth to, God bless our soul, Shimiti time, to a whole lot of things revolving around economic planning and supports. So on the side, I just want to say that, please, let's shift from the entitlement mentality. Well, some people are mobilized. They don't have a stake. They don't have something tangible they want to get from this. But some of you that are here, I will tell you something. The MSME space is untapped. The banks are positioned to support you. And in Delta, for instance, you don't need so much because the state government is bringing a position where they want to be your guarantor. So what else are you waiting for? So I will give you a few tips that would help you position properly. First and foremost, there are about 5, I'll call it quick, I'll call it acceptance criteria you need to meet to enable you position adequately.
I'm told that we have about 7 minutes.
Okay, oh, sorry. Okay, so what we will do, while maybe on the second round I will let them know about that, but I want to let you know that what the state government has done to bring you here is to make you understand the opportunities therein, and I'm telling you, they have also collaborated with the bank to position things for you that will give you a soft landing. They are not asking you to bring your LM. LM is legal mortgage for your security and all of that. The state government has undertaken to take that risk off you, to say we are taking the risk. What is required from you is to show seriousness, is to profile your business, do what we call risk analysis of your business to make sure that if you get that money, you'll be able to put it to work and for the money to come back so that you can pay back. Don't take it as national cake to the extent that maybe when you be like, oh, it's part of the national cake, you have taken your part and you will not return the money. Okay, so I want to encourage you. In my next bit, I will give you five tips and then additional tips to make you position your business properly to be able to leverage on this. Outside what Delta is doing, there are so many offerings in that space. Position your business well, I tell you, you will gain it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Round of applause for Augusta, please. Honorable Anthony, I am just looking at your profile. You've made laws for the state before. Today you are the chief servant, providing the enabling environment. And then you've been listening to the conversations on MSMEs. What would you say will be the roles, the role play for women and youths? What's the new roles that women and youths of Delta State are expected to have? How would you want them to perhaps engage those roles?
Thank you very much. Basically, the roles of youths. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. The roles of youths and women cannot be overemphasized, especially the younger folks. Because that is where we have creativity, that's where we have resilience, and that's where we have innovation. So oftentimes, oftentimes we see governments over time trying to belittle their roles, trying to undermine them, but I can tell you, you undermine them, it will be at your own risk. Because basically they are the engine of growth. If you need creativity, innovation to be brought to fore in your government, you need them at the forefront. Most importantly, the women. The women are very, very trustworthy. They are very, very trustworthy because they have a lot at stake. I am not saying that the youth are not trustworthy, but I'm saying that I trust the women because give them money, they will bring you back money. So I actually want to encourage government, especially when we are doing our policies, that we should use a target approach to actually identify women and youth in the informal sector. We must find a way of trying to formalize the informal sector because that is the only way we can create data. Data is life. If you don't have data, you can't plan. You can't just be saying you have 10,000 number of youths in Ugeli, you have 20,000 of youths in Abo and the rest. That is at that level. So because they play a critical role, create entrepreneurs out of this set of people. And what do? They create entrepreneurs too. And apart from creating other entrepreneurs by actually dispensing skills, they also employ people. They employ debtors. And once they employ debtors, what have they done? They have created demands. Because people who are earning money will definitely go to market to purchase. And who are they purchasing from? They are also purchasing from entrepreneurs like them. So when we talk of MSME ecosystem, this is the ecosystem that we are talking about. On the long run, we are bringing government to just intervene. We intervene by giving them grants. We intervene by also creating subsidies, tax reliefs, and co. So, but the role they should play is that they should begin to convert their ideas, convert their visions to results, to outcomes. The outcomes that will definitely benefit debtors. That's how I look at it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to still stay with you on the enabling environment proper. I don't know where Delta State sits on the PBEC statistics for enabling business in Nigeria, but then Delta State is 27 minutes by air to Cameroon, to Equatorial Guinea, to Sao Tome and Principe. Delta State by boat, it's about 3 hours to Gabon. And now you're looking at a delta that is supposed to provide an enabling environment, a delta that is supposed to create systems that will encourage women and youths to be able to fit into the continental free trade area we're speaking about in Africa. The conversation today across Africa is the AFCFTA. That's the biggest continental market, the borderless market. And you are just 3 hours away from Gabon. Gabon has most of its products brought from outside, from France. You are just 27 minutes by air to Cameroon, to Equatorial Guinea, to Sao Tome and Principe. So what do you see in enabling environment for Deltans and Deltas, women and youths, MSMEs, to be able to put their products together and be able to ship into this borderless market we're talking about in continental free trade area?
Okay, thank you very much. Oftentimes, we can just sit down here and say, we're not doing anything, or we are doing something. You know, the best time to do anything is like 25 years ago. The next best time is today. But today in Delta State, you need to look around and see changes. But these changes will definitely crystallize. There's no saying the fact that we are aware, and that's why we are creating free trade zones. If you look at the Kwale axis, you look at the Cocoa axis, we have free trade zones. This is the only state in the Federation that have 4 seaports. This is the only state in the Federation that have 3 airports. This is the only state in the Federation that have 4 state universities. Check me out. I know that you're thinking about it and saying, is it true?
We are fact-checking you.
Okay, good. Good. This is the only state I'm talking about looking at the youth and see how do we rejuvenate, how do we take the system and take it outside the world, whether it's AFDB or any other countries of the world. The fact is that Delta is a hidden destination. No matter what we do, over time we are going to overcome where our ports will thrive again. That will create employment for our people. So whether you are going to fly or whether you are going to use the sea, Delta is the best place to do your investments.
Thank you very
I
much.
can assure you of that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm taking this now back to the government actors. Commissioner Orode, you listened to him, you heard my question. If you want me to put the question back again, I would like to hear your statements and comments on it. But while you're making your comments on it, I want to bring you back to the conversation strictly for women and youths. Do we have any cultural limitations, social limitations, or religious limitations for the women and youths in MSMEs in Delta State?
Thank you. I just want to say well done to my senior colleague for that answer that he gave. I think that I won't play devil's advocate because I'm also a government person, but I think there's a bigger picture to look at when it comes to creating an enabling environment. So let's say the airport, for example, there's a bigger picture to look at. I'm speaking in parables, right? The ports, there's a bigger picture to look at. If those bigger pictures are solved, those limitations are gone. Literally, those limitations are gone. So let's leave that bigger picture for where it is. For the women, there are no cultural backgrounds. Cultural barriers, rather. Delta State is actually one of the few states where women are extremely fearless in what they do. I'm not joking. Actually extremely fearless, actually extremely hardworking. They go into any sector as long as it makes sense and is profitable for them. We don't have very hardworking women. Yes, you deserve a round of applause. I would say that the only one that might be a bit prevalent and is not as bad as other places is land ownership, particularly for women in agriculture. So we don't have a lot of women who actually own their own land where they can farm and be successful agricultural entrepreneurs. But we do have organizations that are cutting that bottleneck. I know of two. That are cutting bottlenecks. So what they do is they come into certain locations, they lease the land from that community. They started in Abuja, but I don't think they're in Delta yet. They are looking to come into Delta. They will lease the land from that community for a couple of years and then give the women in that community that land that they've leased to enable them farm. Yes, so they remove that bottleneck, particularly for communities that have cultural and stereotypes for women, that women are not allowed to do anything. So they would lease the land from the community and then give it back to the women to enable them to do the farming. But generally, we don't have a lot of barriers like that. Religious barriers, not really. Delta women farm, Delta women go to the bank, they do anything they really want to do, generally.
Thank you, thank you. Augusta, you remember where we paused you a bit. So I will allow you to speak on what you wanted to speak. I'm sure your system is on, so you can speak from there. And then you come back to, I stay with you on the same question I had put across to Augusta.
Okay, so I was saying that in leveraging on the opportunities within the SME space, you have to be ready. Make sure you have positioned yourself to leverage on the opportunities. Have you registered your business? There are 5 key things you need to ask yourself. Have you registered your business? Registration in CAC doesn't cost much. I don't think it's up to 10,000 naira. Okay. Okay,
don't worry, you're not in charge of CAC.
Okay,
just carry on.
Okay, because there was a time they published that online registration is about 5,000. Okay, so if you're doing an assisted one physically, it's up to 17,000, still less than 20,000. Okay, so
it varies. Just agree, it varies.
Okay, it varies. Okay, so that's fine. Make sure at least it's a lifetime registration. Yes, so and it's your business. Yeah, it's your signature. So please make sure at least you register your business. Then you have to be startup ready. What do I mean by being startup ready? you have to keep that business account active. That way, if they are profiling in a bank to say, oh, you have a registered business and at least it's also doing business, it doesn't matter, you mustn't be doing billions. Yeah? So long as you're active, you're servicing it. There are also products in the bank. It mustn't necessarily be accounts where they charge you COT. Many banks today have products that favor women and even SMEs in general. So please, there are MSME accounts that do not charge you, so that at least you could just maintain a minimal deposit in it, and then you run your account to any volume. Then you should have, minimal documentation like your identity card and NEPA bill to trace you, to know where you are, because situations where the industry have looked for people that had opened accounts, they cannot trace where they are and all of that. Maybe they came with fraudulent mind from day one. So you should be able to have minimal documentation to yourself so you can pass the minimal profiling. Then you should have what we call a business plan. Yeah? You should have a purpose for your loan, don't you? Yeah? Then the fifth one is willingness to repay. I tell you, in the industry, in the financial industry, in the banks, the number one we check out for is character. If you're willing to repay, I tell you that your business will thrive. You will do well. Your money will multiply. You'll be able to pay back. Okay? So, I will quickly, I have the time, right? Okay, I'll just quickly,
2 minutes.
Okay, that's fine. In 2 minutes, I'll just give you extra 10 tips that will significantly increase your chances in getting approval. You have your notes, right? This is meant to be a summit, isn't it? So you should have something to take away, all right? So quickly, you should keep clean financial records, yeah? You will not go and do something in UBA, run away there and think that when you come to FCMB or Fidelity Bank, they will not catch you. So we have a unified system where we have your credit ratings. Take them very seriously, all right? Maintain an active business bank account, like I said. Please separate your business from your personal runnings and your family things, okay? That way, anybody profiling you will know that you're very serious. Improve your credit profile, just like I said. Have a clear cash flow projection and strengthen your business plan. Register with relevant agencies. If they are saying there's tax authorities in the state and all of that, make sure you have all of those sorted out. Offer, build your business in a manner that you should have something that when they look at, they will say you have a fallback. If the state government is saying they no longer want to collateralize you should be able to, in the first few years where you have this opportunity now, build something so you can have a fallback. Tomorrow, if you're standing on your own, you can say you can use for a collateral. Do you understand? Even if it's a shop, okay? Offer, join a cooperative or business association. Keep business and personal finances separate, just like I said. Then, be prompt and organized in your application and in the way you run your business. That way, there's no way you'll not pass every profiling, and then you move your business forward.
Thank you very much, Augusta. Thank you. Please give Augusta a round of applause. She has just told you what you should do. That when you go to her, you are sure of a loan. Give her a round of applause. Okay, I will be coming to Ifeanyi. Comrade Ifeanyi, you are just the right person to speak to when we talk about youths, because you've administered them, and then youths and MSMEs. Do we have any traditional challenges when it comes to decision making? Have they been rightly included or excluded from decision making? That's one thing I would like you to speak to.
If I'll speak from the Delta State perspective, I don't think so. At least I can say it's been upscaled over the years for the youths of Delta State in terms of being involved, especially with MSMEs. For instance, opportunities like this, like if you go to the 36 states in Nigeria, you hardly find where things like this are being put together, and I'm aware the ES made adequate provisions for the youths to have participation in this kind of program.
Let's give them a round of applause. Yes, please take your flowers. A round of applause.
Yes. So, yes, thank you for that. And secondly, it does not even just stop with him. For one, we have a directorate of youth monitoring and mentoring in Delta State. I'm not sure anywhere in Nigeria they have such office that has responsibility to follow up established youth, work with the private sectors in terms of maybe the different platforms or cooperatives to see how they can continue to encourage these youths. Now, aside that, you also have humanitarian services, the girl child. I don't know where in Nigeria you have another ministry for the girl child that specifically deals with the girl child.
What about the boy child?
The boy.
If you are in charge of that, just carry on.
Well, but the truth is, it still boils down to the fact that if you train a girl child, you've trained a nation. They are the mothers.
Round of applause, please.
I, for one, I have a mother.
We all have mothers.
Yeah, we all have mothers. So if we get them right, I'm sure what they will instill in us will also go further down in creating a better society. You train the boys. Yeah.
A round of applause for you, fine. A round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're going to be opening the floor in a few minutes. Let me just hear two perspectives, and then this floor will be open for interactions. I know that you have a few questions on this other side of the divide. Judith, did I get it right?
Yeah.
Good. So, Lady Judith, I know the passion you also have when it comes to women, you know, and I'm also wondering, education, do they have any limitations that education becomes a challenge for women in Delta, and how does it affect them in their MSME business? Because you were talking about, Commissioner already talked about bookkeeping, simple bookkeeping. So it means that bookkeeping is a challenge. And when I listened to you, you talked about the education level not being equal. You know, those in the hinterlands, in the rural areas, they're not. So is education a challenge? And what is it that you think Delta State government can do about it for the MSMEs, women in MSMEs?
Like I said earlier, I'm a product of books. I'm also a product of studying. I'm passionate about learning. I just want to keep learning. But the challenge for women is that, as you can imagine, a woman will graduate, she will marry and bear children. That's a kind of limitation that draws us back. But now, we're coming out and every woman is a leader. And I think and suggest that we should have leadership training for women. You're either leading in your home, whether you have a formal position or not, every woman is a leader. And like Comrade Ifeanyi said, every woman brings forth in this world. We are the giver of life. Everyone here came through a
round of applause for women. They give birth to men.
And I tell you that women are strong. They give birth, they go on businesses, and take a statistics of women businesses. They're doing very well. The women are stronger. But I'm still advocating that training should be done for women as leaders. Training should be done specific for women to target what their needs are. And that brings me to something I've been meaning to say. Every entrepreneur should belong to a BMO. You don't go alone. There's power in unity. There's power in numbers. Business membership organization. We have Msme, where I'm chairing Delta State. I'm passionate about that. We have NASI, we have MAN, we have the Chamber of Commerce. Please, what you cannot assess as a person, you will assess through a BMO.
Exactly.
So you are changing yourself. We want the nano, the market woman that cannot read. We will find a way to organize this. And it brings me to the government that please, we should work in partnership. The MSMEs are the bedrock. So I don't see policies being formed and they're not involved. Yeah, we need to look at that. We need to be involved as a private sector in forming policies that will affect MSMEs. We were recently in Lagos a few weeks ago at the Msme National Conference, and where myself and Dr. Godwin were in the same room on policy making, and by the grace of God, we've been able to give in. I'm still working on it, give in my input. But how many other people? And another thing I think I should bring in here is the power of mentorship. There are women doing very well, so we should be able to mentor younger women. Like I said earlier, we all don't have the same opportunities, but we can be stepping up from nano to micro to small to medium, even in terms of knowledge. I look out for people that want to learn. I look out for people that are eager to know something new. And we should get off this mentality. This, oh, what do you get for me? I mean, you know, that entitlement mentality.
So on that note, Lady Judith, because we are running out of time, I think we should take the message from you that we should have a mentorship building program for women.
Yes.
And so Delta State, you've got many women that are succeeding, that are very successful. So that idea for a mentorship scheme for women-led SMEs is what you are putting forward.
Yes.
Okay, so Commissioner Orode, this is just you for a few seconds. Yeah.
There is no, I don't think, and Bros, if I help me, correct me here if I'm wrong, there is no government program that runs without a pre-capacity building. We don't do it.
In Delta State?
In Delta State, we don't do it. If we're going to give you starter pack, we won't just give it to you. We are not fools. We don't want you to just sell it off and not use it for what you're supposed to do. So we are very conscious of doing months of training, which Lady Judith has been a part of in past, to ensure
I'm still a part too.
Sorry,
even going forward.
Sorry, no. 2026, we are coming back. To ensure that these businesses, even the women in the market, before I give you my conditional cash transfer, I put you in groups for at least a week and I tutor you on why I'm giving you that 150,000 naira before you get it. Do you understand? So we don't do, the state government is very particular about that capacity building before any intervention program goes out there.
Lovely.
And let me just add.
Okay.
The relevance for us is that it is what makes the difference between a seed and food. It is the capacity building. It is that reorientation, is that impactation that actually drives when these grants come. Because I had an experience as Commissioner for Youth where I went on to say NISA CBN had a window to give grants.
Yes.
And we took our time to talk to a lot of people. And trust me, those that we took our time to build their capacity are those, many of them use their money to do businesses. But some who just got it either by knowing one person, they just flex the money.
Squandered it.
And today, interestingly, governments have recovered the money from their accounts. So they now call say, Commissioner, I hear that that program wanna do. They don't call it. I say, I no train you. Oh, maybe you go find your master. Because those that we spoke to, we told them that this is not food.
This
is a seed.
Was it
it's a loan. It was a loan. I say it's a seed. Don't go and use it and pay house rent and say tomorrow, after on our government money, you just have entitlement. But today, for those that opened car wash with it, so those that started laundry services with it, they have testimonies and we are happy about it. So we don't play with capacity building.
So you affected their livelihood. So I'm opening the floor now for questions, but I will just, before the questions will come up from this divide, maybe like we will take it 2 from this side, 2 from this side, and so 6 questions. Yes, one.
Okay, while the question is coming up, just in line with what Lady Judith was saying, maybe for doctor, I think let it be ongoing thing. You don't do mentorship and stop until they graduate to, you can free them. You understand? Just like entrepreneurship and what do they call it? There's this system where you nurture, handhold, and then you send them forth. It's like an apprenticeship kind of program. You understand? So maybe if we've been doing one-off thing and letting them go and they are not, getting their hands around it, we may need to extend it up to like 6 months. Do something ongoing and repeating it like that.
Interestingly, it's not one-off, because I like to be very practical. Madam Judith is here. I cannot go to Saple to train anybody in fashion without calling her. I can't try it, because I know she has built a brand that stands the test of time. And she is here. So many persons that have gone through her, they still go to her till tomorrow when the job is difficult. That is mentorship. So it's not a one-stop shop thing. It's not a one-off thing. It's a lifetime thing. So that's what we've encouraged over the years.
The state actually has DYMM, a directorate for youth monitoring and mentorship. Okay. Literally. So I think the problem here is information. People actually don't know about these things that are happening. So I guess Demsmeda, this is where Demsmeda also comes in to actually pass what the government is doing.
What you are even doing now is sensitization.
Yes,
you are sharing the information. Yes. So my question to you on the panel before the rest of the other divide will come in will be that monitoring and evaluation. You talked about having a capacity building sessions before you do anything about releasing money and all that. What about monitoring and evaluation? Who monitors? Who evaluates? Who sustains? Somewhere, well, let me just give you an experience around the continent. I was in Botswana. And in Botswana, they have what they call adopt an SME. So private institutions, private businesses, even a bank can adopt an SME. So in Delta State here, it's not just putting the blame now on government. This engagement now is two-way. It's private sector and public sector. So beyond what we are speaking about, please think about adopt an SME as a program. And then at the same time, please speak to monitoring and evaluation. Where does Delta State stand in monitoring and evaluation? The floor is open for questions. To my left, yes, you really want to take a question? Okay, yes, you make a contribution.
Just briefly, we have a problem of value orientation, reorientation for our youths. Do they actually value what we are doing? If you take statistics of the people who are here today, how many percentage that those who are still remaining? This hall was full this morning. What is the number of youths that are actually seated in this place? And who are we talking to? Is the youths, both whether man or woman. Some of us now were already going off track of becoming old, going older. The youth needs to actually cash into this thing, because that is where we have the problem. Since I took this job, I have encountered a lot. For example, when we started this program, register online, go to our website. If you register another, even if you don't come here, we'll still register you through the QR code and all of that. But surprisingly, some were phoning me, how much are you going to pay if we come to this place? And if you are not paying money, how do I have to travel all the way from Ole, especially my people, to Asabaye to be able to come and learn book on how to run businesses and all of that? You see, so we need the value we place on this sense is an issue by our youths. And mentorship is still very important, and we'll continue to do it. But you can only mentor those who are willing to take mentorship. You can only do that. So I am not saying, some years ago I was to go to Zurich just to attend a workshop of this nation, and it was privately funded. I was younger than a youth came to me. How much are you going to use for this journey? I told him. He said, but this money you are going to use, you never reach to build a house. Why do I have to spend such an amount of money to buy ticket, go to Zurich, say I'm attending a seminar, or I'm attending something that has to do with business development? He didn't see any reason why I have to do that. To him, I was just being wasteful. You see, so we must learn to create this value. You value what you are doing. Some in the state say, what is MSME Summit? I don't know, just wasting time, always thinking of book. But it is much more than that. You must learn. Let them know that it is this knowledge that we're imparting that can make the difference. And I want to stop here, moderator.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for the ES. That contribution was very encouraging. So the youths, the women, we have to take it from that point. So the floor is open. To my left, I see 3 hands, five hands on the left. Sitting in front, Mr. Benjamin, please, a microphone for you.
My name is Benjamin Aduli. I actually run an SME development platform where we have today over 252,000 SMEs in 32 states in Nigeria. I started out 15 years ago. I'm from Delta State, by the way, but we have not been active in Delta State. I grew up in Ogwashuku. I'm from Ndokwa West, so I'm a Delta product. But our activities is not active here yet. And I listened to all of you. I said, okay, I think maybe it's time to come home. And I want to take from where the DGs start from. Hearing all of you, the biggest problem for MSME in Delta State is information access. That is the biggest problem. Most of the problems I hear you talk about, the solutions exist, but they do not know it exists, and they do not know where to get it from. I'll give an example. You mentioned about incorporation. As we speak, the federal government, through the Ministry of Trade and Industry, has approved that CAC should register 250,000 businesses free. It is approved already. The company who is working with CAC and Smeda happened to be my partner. I called the CEO, and I can guarantee you sitting down here, if we work with Demsmeda, I can guarantee that I will get 5,000 businesses in Delta State registered on that scheme free of charge. So it's information management. Second part is Delta is a unique state in Nigeria. It is. We just haven't taken that advantage. But let's start it now. When you mentor MSMEs, there are so many distractions that if you don't draw out a program from start to finish as a value chain and follow it through, it's not going to work. Because the degree of distractions around them, it's unbelievable. So you need to have a program that you can handhold them and mentor them from end to end. That's why we call it a maze in my organization. You know a maze? That board, that game board where you enter and you are confused. Without guidance, you will be going round and round and round and you will never come out. But with the right guidance, you know where to enter from and where to come out. I'm willing to work with Delta States. Don't pay me for free. We can create SMEs here. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Really good. Really, really good. Really, really good. That's amazing. Amazing.
Greetings, everyone. I think we're having awareness issue. Like my boss rightly said, lack of information. But it is not just lack of information. It is lack of awareness. Like the SE said, he said somebody called him to say, will you pay my transportation to get me here for something that you will benefit from? It is because that person does not know the benefits that is here. I'm a techie. I currently am undergoing cybersecurity program. And somebody asked me, how much are you paying for tuition fee? And I told the person is like, why will you pay that kind of amount for tuition fee? And I just said it's because you don't know what I'm getting and what I will get later. The problem with our people is that they don't understand the value that they will get. And I think we should have an awareness-driven program where we go into interior villages, rural villages, to make them understand that this is what we are bringing to you. This is what you are going to get. This is how you are going to go about it. Because honestly, if you just tell somebody to come to this program and you expect the person to pay transportation all the way from Ole to here, the person will rather use that money to buy food and eat than to come here. So I think we need awareness. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I see you, but let's see how we can manage this. We said 2 from that side, 2 from here. So I didn't see any woman raise her hand.
Raising her hand now.
You're sure?
Okay, there's one there. There's one there.
No, on this side. Was there a woman that raised her hand on this side? There was none. There was none. So if we see a woman here, we'll give her priority. So okay, Mama will give you priority. Question from you.
I thank everyone because of this program. Because what one of the colleagues said just now, they don't think we are gaining from it. But even when I was going for one leadership training at Warri, they were asking me whether I will graduate in the grave. But I said knowledge is power. And I will acquire it before I will die. So, all of them, they have the mind that even if you equip them, they will eat it. Our brother said, it is a seed. You should not eat it. You plant it so that it will grow. Having impart this knowledge today, we will plant into the fertile heart so that it will grow. Because there are some, when you even equip them, what thing I go get from inside if I even go there, Saba? You give them, there are some of our family people, we give machine, we give this, they sell it. They did not go on about it. One thing is to love what you are doing. Like our sister. They are proud of her now because if you are even stranded with what you are designing, when you go to her, because of what she has upstairs, she will be able to put the person through.
Thank you.
So you have to do like those ones. My question is, like those ones that refuse, after equipping them with money, they don't care again. They will still be looking for, can I get anything from you? What do we do if you fall a victim of those type of people? What do we do?
Okay, thank you very much.
Can the government put a punishment for those type of
punitive
people?
Measure. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, one more from this side. One more from this side. The woman behind though.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we are seeing you. We are seeing you. Go ahead.
Thank you. I want to draw us a little back to where we started in this program here. When the gentleman, Honorable, and the lady made a presentation. Honorable, my counseling to your presentation is that we should endeavor to take your programs, nearer to the people. You should decentralize it to the senatorial zones. You should go ahead to do further to the local government areas. It will impact terribly. You've got a good thing for the state, but people don't know about it. I'm privileged to know because I crave to know. And given what I do too, I must know. So I know about what you do in your place. And I'm very, very happy to note that we could get back to you, fall back to you where there are difficulties. NACI and other BMOs will take note of that. Then for my lady, You really captivated me by your mode of presentation, and I want you to keep it up. I want to address the issues raised by the 4 people. We shouldn't leave here without addressing them. 4 of them mentioned finance. That's the basic thing. That shouldn't even be a problem. Government has provided for finance. But the problem we have is that we are much more interested in that one the government is dashing us. And that is what makes me bitter about people here, how we do business. And somebody said, yeah, business cannot thrive in the present day world economic order if you do not belong to somewhere. If you say people that belong to Redeem stand up here, everybody will stand up. If you say, what's the other one? They all stand up. But winners, they will not stand up. But tell them, where do you belong? Who is mentoring you? Who is helping you? I had told all the people who have visited, Doctor is aware, NACI has a table. Once you have a business you are doing, you are into business, you need money. Come to us, we would do all your financials for you, free of charge. The banker, you're here. The banker will ask you, give me your feasibility. That is the word that people fear. Once you say feasibility, everybody runs away. But sir, what is feasibility? Just give us a business plan. You become feasibility when you talk about the environment. How it happened last 20 years, how 50 years. No, the bankers look at the figures. They go straight to your cash flow. So any 4 of them that came out here, please, where is the Secretary of NACI here? Meet him, give him your name, your number, call him. We will ensure that you get finance for your business. That's one. Then 2.
Thank you very much. Round of applause for NACI.
Yeah. The lady that talked about, somebody talked about power.
Electricity.
Yes, electricity. I want to cancel him. He mentioned about the first speaker here, that our chief that left. He talked about the hubs. He should take advantage of that to see how he can relocate to do his business somewhere. And there's something we call toll relationship. In the West, if you have 3,000 birds and you're a farmer or 500 pigs, you don't buy feed. You go to somebody else to mill your feed, and it is cheaper. So why can't you leave your place to go and do it in somebody's places, and then small more than you're going to spend?
Thank you.
Then the last one for the lady that has an oil mill. Your problem is very simple. I have talked about finance. But you want to buy equipment, and yet you don't have the raw materials to produce. So it's a conflict. No banker will look at your papers. So what you do first is to go for source of raw materials. And thank God it is palm. First of all, get these raw materials. When you see how your machines are faring, you can now go for new machines. NACI will help you to acquire new machines through development banks.
Thank you very much,
Then
NACI.
for the raw material, it is palm. One of our strong members here is the chairman of the Palm Association in Delta State. He's there. Please stand up. Meet him for your raw materials. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, NACI. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we are coming to this is where we are, the last wing. So questions. Okay, the gentleman on white. We have 2 questions from here, and then we want to wrap up this panel. It's been a long day, and we are all itching to go home and get ready for tomorrow. So
Okay.
you have the floor now.
Good evening, all. My name is Dr. Ochimora Favored. I noticed that in our discourse, and most of the times when we talk about MSMEs, we look at it localized. Most times we just think it's just doing the little businesses. Some of us who are in this MSME business, our products have been upscaled. And I want to appeal to the likes of Doctor that is pushing things like this, that we should look at the export market. This is very important because most times the export market is complicated. So you see people who have products that can sell very well in most of the supermarkets. We have people who are producing products that are doing well in other states, but they cannot break even in the export market. I want to, through this medium, appeal to our ever-listening governor to see how they can help the MSMEs to have like a one-shop stop, how they can help us to push our products across, okay? And I believe that that will be very apt. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. One more on this side. Yes, gentleman behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Uju Emozino, and thank you so much, the panel, for this wonderful opportunity. Now, my question is this. Now, before government, they have rolled out programs for skills empowerment and so on and so forth. I want to come from the aspect of those that are in the schools, like the polytechnics, the universities. That's what we call industrial training. Now, unfortunately, you see that even at the polytechnic level, maybe when they are supposed to do a 3 months or a 4 months or a 1 year IT or a 6 months IT as for the university, these people, they find it very difficult to access places where they can do this IT. And I must tell you, in terms of business, most of the confused people in business are the graduates, because they have gone to school, they have been exposed to society things, and when they come out of the system, they discover that they are not productive in this area. Why? Because maybe as at the time they are supposed to go for an IT, they didn't even get a firm to do the IT. Even government institutions, they even refuse them. They will tell you the place is filled up, and at the end of the day, some of them that have the little opportunity, it is based on the who they know that brings them to this, So how can we help this system? Not just speaking English. Let us try to be realistic and practical. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, just for the questions have been wrapped up here, but just for the purpose of we being friendly to women, we would like two questions for women again. So on this side of the divide, the lady in pink. So it's gender activism, 16 days of gender activism. So let's support them. Let's support them. Make it very brief and then to the point, precise.
Yeah, my own point is market survey. I'm having issue, just my own issue, because I'm a makeup artist and also a hairstylist, which I do revamping. Sometimes when I go to the market and buy goods, I buy, for example, 10,000. I go the next day, I'm buying 18,000 or 19,000. It affects me a lot. And when I tell my customers, oh, the price has increased, they don't care. They just believe you have to just work it out for them. And they want to stick to that price which you have given them before. And it's affecting.
So what do you want? You want government to fix the price?
Yes. How can we help? How can the government help us?
Okay, how can the government help you?
Yes.
Okay, that is taken. So the last woman has, we said we just give 2 opportunities for women and let's close up. Okay, solution will come, but let's see the woman. Please, microphone for her. Microphone. So that's the last question for a woman. This shows that we are supporting 16 days of gender activism. Yes, you have joined us to support 16 days gender activism. So a round of applause, please. A round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olive. I'll just go straight to the question. So one of the fundamental problems of the MSMEs in the state is power. This problem have grounded many startups and even running MSMEs. What is the government doing to address this and help MSMEs to thrive?
Okay, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to wrap up. And so your questions will be answered by everybody here. Fortunately, we've got about 3 people from government, 2 people from private sector. So let me start. I know there were about two questions, particularly for Honorable, no, we've wrapped up that. So there are two questions. Let me just give you the phone. Honorable Anthony.
Thank you very much. I want to start with the man that spoke about upscaled businesses. If you have moved from nano to small, from small to micro, or from micro to macro, and you have upscaled your businesses, you are now looking at the export market. We have an office here in Asaba, although it was run by our late sister, who incidentally died. But the office is basically for export processing and promotion. So we had that planned out, and we still have the office there. But I will request that you come to our office. When you come to our office, we'll be able to, give you a solution to that. The issue is about, first of all, licensing. From licensing to packaging to branding. So various licenses are involved, and when you come to our office, we'll give you the details. So you must, you're upscaling, you must also be able to package yourself in a way, a manner that will suit the export market. The other person that talks about internship, I think the issue of internship is everywhere. It has been there. That is why all of us are trying to put on effort so that we can establish more businesses. It's not just about internship. It's about also peer review. It's about also businesses, people who are established, being able to give helping hands to those that are early starters. I mean, those that are just beginning, new entrepreneurs who are learning the rope. It's important that those who are entrepreneurs that are established with so much business experience should give helping hands. It's not for government. Government is not a place that you do internship, unless you want to learn how to engage in policy making and the rest. What is important is businesses helping other businesses to grow. You grow an ecosystem. Competition is what encourages MSMEs. Competition, a healthy one. You might think it's negative. It's not negative. Competition is the reason why you must be innovative. Competition is the reason why you must be creative. Competition is the reason why you must be unique in your business, because that is the only way people will begin to look at your own side. It's very, very important. We have spoken so well about the issue of power. I think my chairman dealt with the issue of power when he talked about hubs, where you have an energy ecosystem where you can actually plug and play and get your power easily and at an affordable rate. Please, you need to go back to that. If you're not here, probably you need to talk to your colleagues who were here. I know he's a specialist in that area. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for Honorable Anthony. So we will allow the government actors to answer all the questions for government. So, Comrade Ifeanyi.
I think he has said something about power, but it's a national issue if I would take it from that end. Yes. Then for mommy, I was very passionate about those I will collect and they will disappear. And tomorrow they will still be looking for other opportunity. I love the passion which you used to, because that's the same way I feel. If you give somebody opportunity and the person is kidding with it. But I think the thing there is to mitigate. You can't eradicate completely. That is given. Even Jesus Christ had a fake one among his 12 chosen. So there must be one. But the percentage is what we should be talking about. If the percentage is 80 over 100, it's a success story. It's an A+. And I'll tell you, that is something we have over the years evolved, which I also give credit again to Madam Judith, because she was part of the process when we were doing all that. Because at the point, we said, how do you eliminate these bad ones? Is through selection. first, identifying passion and commitment. Being able to identify that this person truly deserves and needs this thing. And is going to see it as a seed and not food. And I will say that in the last stretches of programs that we've done, I'm like when I came into this, I was proud to look at least Olive. Where is she? I thought I saw her now. Okay, she has stepped out. Olive is one product of ours. So when I saw her here, I was quite, there are a couple of them I've also seen here that have gone through our process. And I'm happy that they are still there. So the testimony is there, and we have put in this mechanism of ensuring that through the selection process, through the capacity building process, we're able to continually identify those who seemingly have jackpot plan, have to pay the bride price that they have not completed through government program or pay house rent. And it has really been, I would say, we've achieved remarkable success in being able to mitigate that. And that's why we have a lot of them out there that are successful. But it's something that is continual. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioner, you have a microphone with you?
I think so.
Okay, yeah. So all the government questions, we want the government actors to answer. So he has spoken to a point, but I think you still have something clearly to speak over punitive action. You know, she was asking about punitive action.
So, Mama, I wanted to ask you, he's spoken based on what we do as government. Were you also asking for yourself if you were going to help other people, or were you asking the question in a way that, say, you want to support other entrepreneurs? Eh? Okay. So my advice for you, Mama, don't stop supporting other entrepreneurs, but don't do it with emotions.
Mama, if you are involved in it,
Yeah.
the first thing, like I said, it's first and foremost, it starts from selecting those people. That is very critical. Let me tell you, it is part of why His Excellency has even said that going forward in our entrepreneurship program, because we find out most of those people were drawn, some of these people, the elements you mentioned, are drawn from the greens. Who do we call the greens? Those confused ones, like our brother mentioned, graduates, they are confused and all that. So when they have graduated, finished, anything goes. They just want some hustle. Now, when you give such people, maybe you ask the person to go and train for fashion, for example. If you don't take proper drill into the person's orientation, capacity building and all that, there's a tendency that the person might fall off the way line. Compared to one person whom the mother has used maybe Osusu money to go and pay for one training school, and the person really wants to train. The person goes to that training hungry every day and comes out, he's not even able to buy a machine. And somewhere along the line, there is this support coming from government to buy a machine. Trust me, that person will not do what? Play with such opportunity. So that's why we are now focusing on that passion, that commitment. You need to make some efforts. And it's also a way to minimize this entitlement mentality. God will ask you, what do you have in your hand? He cannot blame you. He cannot bless you on emptiness. So you must make some effort. It is in that direction now. Government will be able to meet you at a particular point. Because sometimes when everything is all free, you don't really seem to place the value or know the value of this thing. So mommy, do not be discouraged, but spend more time in looking out for those values and passions so that you don't make a wasted investment. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable, okay, perfect, wonderful. So, Augusta, you have a few minutes to make your closing statements. And then if you want to still make any general remarks over what you heard here, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you for giving me another opportunity. I want to tell everyone that in the SME space, we have opportunity to a large extent, reduce insecurity by creating job opportunities. The space is huge. The opportunities there are many. And MSME and SME opportunities in Nigeria is the future. We need to all join hands to make sure we grab this opportunity, build on it, and safeguard how do I put it? Safeguard a Nigerian future where each and every one of us will be contributors in the economic space.
Thank you.
Very important.
Thank you. A round of applause for Augusta. And your last word.
Mine is that we are not where we used to be, but we are not where we should be yet. So we should keep pushing and don't give up, no matter the circumstance. As an MSME, keep improving yourself, keep learning, learn, unlearn, relearn, and you will get there someday. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, let me give a closing thought. Economies grow when people grow. And we've tried here to redefine the roles for women, for youth in MSMEs. We've also tried here to understand the enabling environment that is put together by the Delta State government. But what is most important between the private sector and the public sector is simple. There must be cooperation. There must be collaboration. That's what is important. So once you have collaboration and cooperation, then it is easy to build forward towards the Delta State of our dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for my panelists. They've done a wonderful job. Thank you so much for also staying all the way through. I think we need to, yes, you want to take a photograph before you, okay, photograph please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, can we put our hands together for that very brilliant. The session was quite a brilliant one, quite a lot of exposition, and I tell you, it's a takeaway. I actually pity those who could not wait behind. I'd like to thank you so much, Honorable Dr. Anthony Elekekuri, our fine officer. Thank you so much. Lady Judith Wanchuku, Chairman Msme, I'd like to thank you. Honorable Ifeanyi Egevda, I'd like to also thank you, the Chief Job Creator. Honorable Orode Udwanga, the youngest, I'd like to thank you so much. And of course, Augusta Anyanwu, I'd like to thank you so much for your brilliant submissions. It was quite an exposition. These are things that ordinarily people pay for. And the youths who are ordinarily supposed to be beneficiaries are virtually taken away, apart from a few of them. All right, this is where we'll be gradually running up for today. I need to pass a very important information across, that those who want to take part in the pitching competition should please wait for a few minutes for vital information. As part of activities for tomorrow, there's going to be a pitching session. So those who want to take part in that pitching session, please do us some good by waiting behind immediately after this time out, so that we'll pass a few informations across to you. Thank you so much, our wonderful participants, for being very, very patient up to this hour. I think this is where we'll be drawing the curtains for today. It's quite awesome. But before we do that, I'd like to invite Chief Henry Sakra, Chairman Demsmeda, for the closing remarks by way of vote of thanks. All right, Deacon Matthew Udwanga, please, I've been asked to invite you, sir, for the closing remarks. And after that, we'll be saying our goodbyes for tomorrow. Tomorrow, the call-up time, it's 10 o'clock. So please, let's all be here as early as 10, or rather, so that we can do the best for tomorrow.
Before the vote of thanks, there are a lot of things coming up tomorrow. You know, we just started this program today. And so you did not actually understand most of the things that are coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be greater than today. Tomorrow we are looking at taxation and the new tax reform. Coming to this place tomorrow will be the tax practitioners. That is, the Federal Inland Revenue is coming to answer all your questions. The Delta State Board of Internal Revenue Service is coming to answer all your questions. All those who matter in one thing or the other, they are coming. NECP, that is Nigeria Export Promotion Council, they are coming tomorrow. Then again, we are going to give awards. Awards to those who matter in MSME and those who have, in one way or the other, sustained this thing that we are doing. And so tomorrow is going to be great. Very interesting topics are there for discourse tomorrow. So do not fail to be here because it's very important. We'll start very swiftly and we'll end. There's going to be the pitching competition. We have a number of innovators that have submitted their pitching requirements, and tomorrow we are going to examine them. The committee will give, we evaluate them publicly for all of us to see, and you will see the video play. And thereafter, we are going to give prizes to all those who will win. First runner-up, second runner-up, consolation prizes, and certificates. So this will be given tomorrow. But tomorrow, very, very interesting. So please do not fail to be here. God bless you. I hand the mic to the MC for the closing process.
I've done that.